Hey everyone. So for week 6 was the Google assignments, and I've always thought of myself as fairly tech savvy, fairly knowledgeable on the basics of utilizing different types of media. And when I started doing this, I realized that there's a whole nother avenue of access that I had no idea how to use. I've never used Google Documents. I've never really used Google Drive. I've heard of Google Hangouts, but I've never utilized it. There is a like a SharePoint that I use in my district, but I've just recently started using it, and to me, the Google Drive is fairly similar to that, where anyone can load something up in there, and the document or the form is just there. And depending on what um, permissions they've allowed depends on who can access it. And so to me, the Google Drive was very similar to that. Um, I think that this is something that I would utilize now that I've been made aware that it's there. Like I said, I didn't even know that this was something that existed, and so to um, be able to kind of practice using it, I for my personal assignment, provided I did that correctly, I did a short presentation, so similar to a PowerPoint, and just talked about what I learned about it, the basics of how, what it's about, and then if I would use it or not in the future. And I had decided that I would like to use it as a way to reduce the paper that I would hand out to my students in the future and utilize it to maybe send out templates or study guides or key information that they might need to help them with their assignments, their homework through the night. So maybe if there's like a way to show example forms of the steps of a math problem so that when they go home and they're not sure about how to solve the equation or go through the steps of the process to solve their math worksheet, that this would give them a way to look through, and each one of the students would have access to this drive, to the different documents, to give them the help that they need without having to hand them out 10-15 different um, pieces of paper each day just to help them with their homework. I know that my own daughter has a math packet that gets brought home. It's kind of a newsletter, and it talks about the module that they're working on for that next couple of weeks and what the learning objectives are for that and how to break it down so that it helps parents be able to help their children with their work. But I think that if we accessed this type of information through a Google Drive document, it would give us the same thing without packets of paper, because the one that I worked on with my daughter today was easily 15 sheets of paper. So I think that would eliminate a lot of waste. Otherwise, I think that it's a great tool. The fundamental training for the education certifications for Google, I think would be a great tool to use. I'm going to look more at it because I was definitely interested in the training that it provided, and thought that I knew more after looking through the modules, um, going through the little lessons, and had to find myself going back because I wasn't completely correct on everything the first go around. So I did find myself going back and looking more, and I'll utilize going back and looking at those some more so that I can get a really good grasp of all of this. And I think that it will help me to be a stronger educator when I start running my own classroom. So anyways, have a good night, everyone.